Good morning. It's time for the rest of the story. And this one is inspired by something that happened Tuesday, my day to go out to eat at the taco place for Taco Tuesday with some friends. And I'll tell you the rest of it at the end of the story. You sit down at a restaurant. The server takes your order with a smile, refills your coffee or other drinks before you ask, and somehow remembers that you like a little extra lemon. At the end of the meal, you leave a little extra on the table or you add it to your card. Most of us do it without thinking. It's just normal and expected. But have you ever wondered why that small act matters so much more than a simple thank you? The custom didn't begin as American. Centuries ago in Europe, wealthy travelers staying in private homes left vales, small gifts of money, for the servants who had gone beyond their ordinary duties. English coffee houses and taverns adopted a version of it. Guests who wanted a better service dropped a coin in a box. The word tip itself slipped into the language from the underworld slang, meaning to give or to share. The popular tale that it stood for, to ensure promptness, is pure invention, a tidy story that arrived long after the practice itself. After the Civil War, well-to-do Americans returning from Europe brought the custom home with them. Hotels, restaurants, and especially the railroads embraced it. The Pullman Company hired porters, many of them formerly slaves, and paid them so little that tips from passengers became the difference between scraping by and actual survival. Employers discovered a convenient truth. If customers made up the difference, the company could keep the base wages low. By the early 1900s, the practice was widespread and deeply unpopular with many, as it is today. Critics call it un-American, a leftover of the aristocracy that forced free citizens to beg for their pay. Anti-tipping societies formed. 6 states actually banned the practice. Those laws didn't last long. And when the federal minimum wage arrived in 1938, a special lower rate for tipped workers was written right into the law. The rate barely budged for decades. In 1991, it was set at $2.13 an hour, and it has never been raised since. For 35 years and counting, millions of workers have started their shifts earning the same $2.13 an hour before a single tip hit the table. Today, servers, bartenders, hotel staff, salon workers, and delivery drivers still rely on those extra dollars for the majority of their income. For many, tips make up more than half of what they take home. A good night can mean the difference between covering rent and falling short. A bad night or a table that walks out without leaving anything can mean going without. So the next time you add that percentage or leave those bills on the table, remember this. You're not just acknowledging good service, you're helping someone hold together a life built on long shifts, tired feet, and a hope that tonight will be better than last night. Behind every refill, every smile, every anything else I can get from you, there's a person they're doing their best on $2.13 an hour, a number frozen in time while everything around them keeps getting more and more and more expensive and hard to get. And maybe that's why tipping feels different once you know the story, because it isn't really about generosity. It's about seeing someone and choosing not to look away. And that is the part most folks never really understand, but now you do. Okay, to my story. One of the fellows I eat with, occasionally he leaves $1 at his plate. And the poor girl was running herself to death the other night, trying to get everybody everything they wanted all. And he said something about, well, she gets paid well for waiting on us. I told him, I said, she gets $2.13 an hour plus tips, which means she don't get paid really good, especially when it's a table full of people that barely tip at all. I worked as a waiter briefly back in the early 80s. My sister worked for Holiday Inn as a waitress, and she called me one time and they needed help desperately, and I was working part-time elsewhere, but had my own little janitorial business too, so I was doing okay. But so I went and helped them out that night, and I helped the waitresses deliver their food, this, that, and the other. They were shorthanded. Well, I did that every Friday and Saturday night for a time, and finally figured out how to be a waiter myself. So I did that for a while, and then I started doing the parties they would have in the afternoon, like the Lions Club, the Civitan Club, the Rotary Club, and I forget who else. Anyway, there was 4 or 5 different ones that met there twice a month, I think it was, and some of them met every week. Anyway, I came to appreciate tips and being tipped, and I do my best to tip as well as I can. I don't eat much at the Mexican restaurant. I usually eat a very small salad and add some bacon bits and my own stuff to it, and so I double what it costs me and leave that as a tip. So anyway, thank you to your waiters and waitresses. Tip them, and if you can't afford to tip them, go to Burger King, go to McDonald's, go to Chick-fil-A. I don't mean to be preaching to you, but help those people out if you can. You have a great day, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.